we have this Bachmann Nester, beautiful little 009 loco. It's been through the works, and it's had weathering, which I'll show you in a minute, but I've also fitted it with chopper couplings. Let's see if I can show you. Now, the proper original couplings are of course really rather large. These chopper couplings are sort of much more scale. These are printed in an engineering-like resin, supposedly. I think it's probably a sort of ABS type resin, which you can no longer get. I need to source a new type. I can't see the screen, so I'm not quite sure what this is showing, but working choppers, they also swing. Now, this front one, I've got it center latching, so it'll always stick at the center. It won't return to center, but it'll stick at the center, and that's done by a magnet underneath. I've let a magnet, a 2mm diameter magnet, into the bottom pickup plate there. You can't really see it, but it is there, and it's flush mounted into this plastic plate. And this wiper has a little bit of steel wire on the end of it, and it's attracted to the magnet, but only lightly, so it'll come past quite easily. But there you go, you see, and it'll stick there. The rear one, I've effectively I've jointed a printed coupling onto the original NEM as supplied coupling. I have chopped off the original and spliced on my own printed coupling at the end there. So that's what I've done there. So if I put that back on the track, the choppers, or the chopper at the front, there's only a chopper at the front, also has a little bit of steel wire glued to the return bar at the bottom, so that hopefully when it goes over a magnet, and this is a piece of dirty track, sorry, so when it, right, so hopefully you can see the chopper flick up, and that's where the dirt is on the track. I must clean that in a minute. The chopper flicks up as it passes over the magnet. So that's how we achieve, or that's how we will, there you go, I've just stopped it on the magnet there, and you can see the chopper is up in the air. So that's how we can achieve uncoupling with that. So that's this very, very cute little Nester from Bachmann. Beautiful it is. When I did the weathering, I've used Humbrol's matte black mixed with the Metalcote gunmetal and worked it in, and also a sort of soot black powder rubbed in on the smoke box, and for all the brass work and copper work, again, the Humbrol brass and copper paint, but mixed very heavily with the Gunmetal Metalcote. That's, I think, number 27004, the Humbrol number. So it's basically the metal coat with a little bit of either the brass or the copper in it, and that gives the dulled down brass and dulled down copper, which of course on a steam engine, if you don't keep it polished, the copper and brass dull down quite quickly, and that's what we've got on this. So that's a very easy thing to do, dulling down copper and brass using metal coat and brass or copper paint, and it really helps. I must say it was quite garish. The brasswork in particular, it was really very, very bright. The last little job I did on this was to the buffer beams. There were, let me get a stick so I can point, little slots out to the side here, on the other side, and I just filled those in. And my favourite filler is Devcon epoxy glue, and I mix that up with loads of talcum powder to a thick paste. You know, any old Johnson's baby talcum powder or anything like that. Mix it up into a thick paste, and put that in. It hardens really quite quickly, and you can carve it and file it, and it sticks as well as epoxy glue, but it carves nicely, and it's just an excellent filler. And I use, I don't buy filler anymore. I always use that Devcon and Devcon and talcum powder mix whenever I want to fill anything, and it's good for filling gaps and cracks, and I even do surface work with it. It's a really, really good universal filler for me, I find. And I also put a little bit of real coal on there. So all it now needs is a driver and some clean track to run on. But the chopper couplings I very much prefer. So that's the very gorgeous little Bachmann Quarry Hunslet. Bachmann have done a superb job, absolutely lovely job. It runs a little bit quickly. I'd love it to run about a quarter of the speed, but one can't have everything, and I think it's just the most gorgeous little thing, and they've done us really proud with it. Love it. Right, hope you find that of interest.